Hey everybody, welcome back for some more Octopath Traveler. Last time, we exited Flames Grease and headed off to the royal capital of Atlasdam, the largest city in the Flatlands. From there we explored the city a little bit and learned that this is a very well-renowned place for scholars and, well, it's got one of the best royal academies. This time, we're going to be talking with this fellow over here and seeing what he has to say, or rather, what we can do to help him. Yes. I think I know who stole that tome. Perhaps I should go have a little chat with him, just to make sure we all understand one another. His name is Cyrus, and he is a scholar. This is Atlasdam, nestled in the fertile plains of the Flatlands. It is his home. It is home to the Royal Academy, where many a scholar studies night and day to bring the light of knowledge to the royal family and to all the realm. He passes his days in the halls of the great library, devouring tomes to his heart's content. It is in that library where he learns of a grievous theft, certain that one of his fellow scholars is the culprit. Cyrus sets out alone to confront the man in his shadowy, subterranean study. He will need wise allies on the path he has chosen. So, completely ignoring my inability to read the simplest of sentences, we of course will be taking Cyrus along, and, of course, let us hear the beginning of his tale.
And so it was that Atlasdam was founded some 2 centuries ago. Indeed, our fair city-state is among the longest standing on the continent of Austera. But there was another city-state with a history as long and proud as our own that came to a tragic ruin only 8 short years ago. Now, who can tell me its name? How about you, Therese?
I think it was...
Now, no need to get all flustered. There's no shame in not knowing an answer, so long as you have a desire to learn. The answer is in your textbook. Go on now, look it up.
Yes, Professor. Let's see. I believe it was Hornburg.
That is correct. Hornburg was ruled over by a royal family said to be descended from priests of an ancient and long-forgotten religion. On the other hand, our fair Atlasdam was founded by one of the original clans that inhabited the Flatlands. Who can tell me how many clans lived in the Flatlands at the time? Your Highness?
The histories have it that 8 clans did live in the Flatlands in those days.
Correct you are, Your Highness. It was a time of great strife here in the Flatlands as the 8 clans waged a long and bitter war. Change would come when the armies of Grandport invaded these lands some 2 centuries ago. At the time, the rulers of Grandport sought to exert their influence over territories inland. Ironically, this compelled the warring tribes to put aside their differences and unite against their common foe. Oh, but look at the time. We'll pick up where we left off next time. Don't forget to read chapters 3 and 4 before our next lecture. And be prepared to answer questions on any of the material within.
Yes, Professor.
thank you for another most stimulating lecture, Professor Albright.
Hello?
Ah, Professor Albright. Mercedes from the Royal Library came by with a message for you. Seems today's your lucky day. You've been granted permission to enter the special archives.
Splendid!
Finally, I can begin my research. The library is just outside the palace. I'd best make haste. Indeed, we shall make haste. But I would like to mention that out of those two students that Professor Albright was lecturing, this one is by far my favorite. Professor
Albright.
Oh, thank heavens you're still here. I thought I had missed you.
Your Highness.
What can I do for you, Your Highness?
The truth of the matter is...
If you can spare the time, I had a question about something we learned today.
But of course.
Your Highness, it would be my pleasure to answer anything. After all, my role is your tutorage. Unfortunately, I cannot spare much time. Is the question a quick one?
Indeed.
Yes, Professor, it will not take long. I was just wondering about the ancient religion of Hornburg. Pray tell, what did they worship?
Very astute of you.
Your Highness. However, I fear that nearly all the texts detailing the nature of the religion were burned and lost when Hornburg fell. I see. A shame that.
The truth is...
I do, however, have a theory of my own. I believe that the royal family of Hornburg were guardians of an ancient power. Mind you, this is not idle speculation. My theory is based on the fact that... Let us continue the discussion another time. My apologies for keeping you, Professor.
With pleasure.
No need for apologies, and it would be my pleasure, Your Highness. That such questions occur to you is a sign of sharp and curious mind.
Why, thank you.
Your lectures on the history of the realm are most fascinating to me. For if I do not learn of our past, how can I hope to lead my people to a bright future?
Indeed.
A most admirable philosophy, Your Highness. The people of this land are truly fortunate to be led by one of such wisdom and kindness. And as I am truly fortunate to have the opportunity to serve in some small way. You are far too kind, Professor Albright. I am proud to be your student.
Ah.
Oh dear, I'm running late.
Good day.
Pray, do not forget your assignment, Your Highness.
Farewell.
Of course, Professor.
Ah, Therese.
Oh, hello there, Therese.
Yes?
Did you have a question for me as well? No. Good day, Professor. Ah, Therese is so adorable. And she's even more adorable to the fact that she's voiced by Brianna Knickerbocker. She does so many of the cute voices. It's so adorable. Anyway, let's head into the library.
It's me, Cyrus.
Good day, Mercedes. Cyrus Albright here to browse the special archives. Oh, Professor Albright, you're looking quite eager today. When I heard that an original copy of the Church of the Flame, a complete histoire, had been donated to our archives, I simply had to be the first to see it.
I see.
You're more on top of our collection than I am. Just sign here.
With pleasure.
Is something amiss?
Actually,
There's someone known as the most brilliant mind in the Royal Academy. When you talk about books, you're as giddy as a schoolboy. When you put it that way, yes. Much as a child is fascinated by a new toy. I am titillated by the prospect of acquiring new knowledge. That just makes it sound weird. Right, the expression on your face says it all. Anyway, everything seems to be in order. Enjoy your quest for knowledge, Professor.
Many thanks.
I am most certain I will. I most certainly will. Cannot read today.
What have we here?
How odd. The tome is nowhere to be found. Did someone return it to the wrong shelf? Not here either.
An interesting dilemma.
These archives are strictly guarded and curated. Wherever could it have gone?
Professor Albright.
The headmaster would see you at once. All the times to... Oh well, might I ask of you a favor? What might that be?
The truth is...
The tome I mentioned before seems to have gone missing. Could you locate it for me?
I see.
Missing? Huh. I'll begin looking at once, Professor.
Many thanks. Cyrus Albright, by your request, sir.
Do enter. My apologies for summoning you on such short notice.
How might I be of assistance, Headmaster?
That treatise on arcane studies you published. What in the gods' names were you thinking?
Sir? I do believe I made my hypothesis perfectly clear.
I'm not talking about your hypothesis. You went out of your way to cite one of the texts in our special archives. The knowledge housed in those tomes is the Royal Academy's greatest treasure. It is not to be divulged to the public at your whim. Laying it bare in one of your silly papers is out of the question.
I am fully aware of the value of those tomes, Headmaster. It is for that very reason I would share the knowledge with my peers.
You are to share nothing! That wisdom is for the Academy and the Academy alone.
But that goes against everything...
Enough, Cyrus!
Even my best argument is sure to fall on deaf ears. The Headmaster sees knowledge as a medal or precious stone, something to be appreciated by its rightful owner alone. Knowledge is power, and power is to be hoarded. An unfortunate attitude, indeed. My sincere apologies, Headmaster. It won't happen again. Is there anything else you need of me?
That is all. You may go. Wait, there was one last thing.
Sir?
I heard the special archives will be closing early today. If you have research to do there, I would do so quickly.
enjoys watching me suffer. Thank you for your concern, Headmaster. In that case, I'll be on my way.
Enter.
Excuse me.
What's the matter?
Yes, what is it, Therese? It's about Professor Albright, sir. It goes without saying that I really just do not care for Yvonne. He's just... everything about him disgusts me.
Can I help you?
Ah, Professor Albright.
A moment of your time.
Did you have any luck finding the tome?
My apologies.
I'm afraid not.
Say it is not so.
Now this is most unfortunate. One might conclude it had been stolen.
Actually,
Professor, taking books out from these archives is strictly forbidden. And as you know, the keys to the vault are entrusted only to a select few. Quite honestly, it would be easier to steal the crown off the king's head.
Aho!
An impregnable vault, a disappearing tome. It would seem we have quite the mystery on our hands. And the mysteries of the world are meant to be solved. Oh, so the scholar in me says. Would you not agree? If it had been stolen, I would say it's a job for the city guard. But I can see you won't let it go until you've cracked the case, as it were.
Indeed!
Ha ha ha, you could say that indeed. A habit I just can't seem to break. Once a puzzle is placed before me, I simply cannot rest until I've worked out a situation.
I see.
Well, far be it from me to stand in your way. It must be tough being a genius.
Leave it to me.
I'll not deny it. Worry not, the tome will be back on the shelf before you can bat an eyelash.
Take care.
Right. Thanks. Best of luck in your search.
Time to do some research.
And the game is afoot. Now, where to begin my search? I suppose I should inquire with Mercedes as to where the keys to the library are stored. The guard at the front door would know who has been frequenting the library as of late, as might my fellow scholars. Then mayhap I should pay the headmaster a visit as well. Cyrus's unique ability is he can scrutinize and learn knowledge from townspeople. So, first things first, we're gonna go talk to the headmaster, see if he knows anything he would like to disclose. Because nothing would satisfy me more than catching him in the act. Spill it! You know full well I have a key to the special archives, and that I would never be so foolish as to let it fall into the wrong hands. In any event, I have no reason to pursue those tomes in quite some time. Okay, let's go talk to the others. I can hear my dog squeaking. Alright. What do you have to say for yourself? Of course I've got the key to the archives. And no, I wasn't sleeping. I was resting my eyes is all. But even if I was sleeping, what would it matter? What kind of fool would bother stealing a worthless tome anyway? Yeah, something tells me he is, he hiding something. Let's see now. Only Headmaster Yvonne and the guard station outside should have a key to the library archives. What about you? The key to the archives? Oh, I haven't got that. But I'm not surprised someone stole a tome considering what they're worth. I'm gambling my depths myself, so I understand the temptation. Alright. He knows the value of tomes is burdened to debt to boot. Oh, there we go.
Splendid.
And that should be all the information I need to solve the case. So who possesses the key to the archives? Headmaster and the guard.
But of course.
It all makes sense now. There are only 2 keys to the archives, one belonging to the headmaster and one to the guardsman. And whose key was used to unlock the archives? We know that was the guard's. The headmaster's key is safely locked away in his office. Furthermore, he hasn't visited the archives today. On the other hand, the guard has been acting suspiciously as of late, even sleeping while on active duty.
Oh.
It would be all too easy a task to lift the key off his person. So is it possible that the guard is our man?
No.
No, he would have no motive. Culprit must be someone who understands the true value of the tome. Gee, I wonder who it is. And most likely one who has accrued a frightful gambling debt.
Which means that...
Put it all together and our villain is... Ooh. Such choices. Much decision.
Yes.
Indubitably, that shifty scholar Russell. Yes, I dare say my logic is foolproof.
Shall we begin?
Now all that remains is to find our man and make him confess to the crime. Word has it he's been doing his research underground these days.
Now then.
I think it's time I did some field work of my own. And so I have taken it upon myself to investigate this suspicious scholar. Interested in coming along, are you? It seems you have quite the curious streak yourselves. But of course, mysteries exist only to be solved. After all, it is of utmost importance to remember that. Ah, but there I go again. Don't let me talk your ear off. But I will be glad for your help. Let us get right to business then. No doubt we'll find Russell in his laboratory down below. With Cyrus and the party! Next time on Octopath Traveler, we'll venture down into the subterranean study and hopefully catch Russell in the action and find the lost tome. See you guys then!